What's up, you guys? It's JCARDENASART, and in this video I'm going to be drawing a cherry blossom tree with Tombow markers. Let's get started.
Alright, so the very first thing we're doing is a very light sketch of the drawing. In this case, the cherry blossom tree. To do that, I'll be using an HB from Faber-Castell. You could use any shade of drawing pencil really, just as long as you get a very light sketch. You don't want to go too dark because you want to be able to erase the pencil when you're done inking. Speaking about inking, once I'm done with the sketch, it's time to ink. To do that, I'll be using micron pens, and I'll be using the 005 specifically. I like using this size because you get very fine lines, and during the inking stage is where I do the majority of my details, so I want those fine lines. You can do the details during the pencil stage, whatever works best for you, it doesn't really matter. My pencil stage is usually for a quick light rough sketch, like I mentioned, just to kind of like get the composition down. I've been asked why I leave the details to the inking stage. Well, I've given that a lot of thought, and the only thing that keeps coming to my mind is that I kind of like challenging myself on not making any mistakes since I can't really erase it, and that if I do end up making a mistake, it's fine. Like, I have no choice but to make it work, and sometimes, actually almost always, end up loving how it comes out with the mistake and all. In my opinion, it feels more genuine. The fact that the mistake is visible and yet it feels kind of intentional. I love seeing that in other people's work. I noticed that I kind of do the same thing. That's just me though. You can do the details in any stage you want as long as you get your subject down. That's all that matters. For the flowers, since it's not really a close-up of the tree, my goal is to get the overall shape and kind of just capture the movement of the petals from far. So when you look at a picture of the cherry blossom tree from far, it kind of looks like a bunch of round squiggles, so squiggles it is. And of course you kind of just have to flow with the branches and give it those flower curves. The way to making it seem like some are in front of the branch and others are behind it is to let some of the branch show through the flowers. You don't want to cover the branches completely with all these squiggles. You want, some of the branch to show. And once that inking is done, you know what's next. Erase. To color in this beautiful tree, you're gonna need beautiful colors, right? So for that, I'm pulling out my Tombow markers. If you don't know already, they are water-based dual-tip brush markers, and I love them. These guys have about 100 different colors, if I'm not mistaken, maybe more. They are sold separately. They are also sold in packs. The same goes for the pencils and the microns. I'll put a link in the description to all the materials that I use for this drawing, so make sure you check that out. They are affiliate links, so if you do purchase anything from those links, I get a small commission, and that will really help me out, so I appreciate you guys in advance. Now to color, I'm starting off with a very light pink, possibly the lightest one I have, and that's to put down all the highlights. I'm just going to lay it randomly across the tree, kind of like dab it on or stippling, not covering all of the tree though. I'll come back later after adding in the darker shades to fill in the empty spots, but we'll get back to that later. For now, just the highlights. And then we're going to do the same approach but with a darker shade of pink, again making sure not to cover the whole tree, especially not where all the light pink is. If it covers a little bit in a few spots, that's fine. But just make sure that, while you're coloring in the flowers, the branches aren't being covered. You want them to be seen a little bit. Time for another shade of pink. But before I continue, I need to have a bit of the sky show through some of the tree because, let's be honest, that's realistic. The tree is not always full. Then it's time for the tree trunk and the branches. Very thin brown lines showing through the flowers. You don't want to take away from the flowers, you just want to make it seem like parts of the branches is showing. Once that's done, I go back in with a light pink and fill in all the spots that I didn't put color down, like I mentioned earlier. And the reason I do it with a light pink is because you want to keep the tree bright. You don't want to do it with a darker shade, because then the tree will seem darker than what you're going for, because there's more dark than light. Now it's time to move on to the grass, the brightest green first. And then I work my way to the darker shades and different greens too, especially underneath the tree. It gives it that sense of like shadow. In the background, I added this like mountain shape thing so that it creates a bit more depth in the drawing. And to color it in, I chose a color that wasn't too bright, but it wasn't too dark. I didn't want it to be distracting. I wanted it to kind of just, be in the back, but still be noticeable. Let's put these markers away for a little bit, step back, look at it as a whole. And after doing that, the only thing left is to go back into the drawing and adjust anything that seems a bit off. In this case, I'm going back into the tree trunk and adding a bit more shadows to help it with the form. I'm working a little bit into the grass. And last but not least, my signature. Are you ready for the finished piece?
And there you guys go. I think it came out awesome. If you thought so too, leave me a like, drop me a comment, let me know what you think about the drawing. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It'll really help me out. Oh, I love the drawing so much. I'm sorry I didn't capture this part in the video, but I framed it. I couldn't help myself. I felt like I needed just about one more thing, and I saw the frame. I was like, yeah, this is it for sure. There was one thing that I had to do, which was cut about an inch. So there wasn't really much going on there. Sometimes you have to. So I cut it. Lucky for you guys, it's going to be available on my new website. Yep, frame and everything is going to be up for grabs on my website. I'm going to put a link in the description. Make sure you guys check that out. Go on there. I will have some of my older work on sale, trying to clean out the studio. I will also have prints of a couple of the pieces that I did recently. Those are available. I have some stickers as well. Some of my old sticker designs are going to be available in a mystery pack, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. I'll have pictures on there of all the types of stickers that you could possibly get. More will be added to the website as I go, as I progress, as I make artwork, and I hope you guys continue with me on this journey. If you're watching this video, the website is up and running. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys soon.